Hey guys, welcome back to this channel. If you're new, then welcome to this channel. Well, I'm back with one more interesting Python video. It's all about Python exercises, and this is exercise 1 that I'm going to explain you what are we going to do here. So here we are going to create a program that asks the user to enter his name and age, and once he entered his name and age, we have to print a message addressed to them stating the year they will turn 100. So you just have to work on the logic of the year that they will turn 100 once you got their age, okay? And one more important thing is, for this exercise you're expected to explicitly write the year on your own. So you have to write the logic for this and you have to work on these things. And here I'm gonna share you some tips with this exercise so that you guys can get motivated to work on the logic once you understood how to get user input and how to work on the string manipulation, okay? So let me tell you how to get user input in Python. To get the user input in Python, the command that we use is actually input method, and we store the result in a variable and we use it to your heart's content, okay? And remember that the result obtained from the user will be a string, and even if he enters a number, though he enters a number, it will be in the form of a string, and you have to convert it to number and you have to work on it. I hope you guys are getting it. Okay, for example, if name equal to, just give input, and inside input just give me your name. If you give space, user will give the input, and just give print your name is, just give name here. This is called string manipulation. Here you are getting a name in the form of string and you are concatenating this string with the name, which is also a string, okay? Never forget that you can concatenate two things when both are actually strings, okay? And if you're on this one, and if you just give your name, for example, my name is Lucky, and if you give, your name is Lucky. So in this way, this input command exactly works. Let me tell you what happens at the end of the input. At the end of the input, it waits for the user to type something and press enter. Only when you press enter, then only it will continue the program, okay? Just remember this thing. For example, if you run this one, and if you just give Lucky and give enter, then only it will run your program. Then only it will go to the next line and it will give your expected output. Now let us understand how to handle strings, and there are a few ways that you have to follow in order to handle a string. What you get from the input, it's actually a string. And what can you do with it? First, transform the string into a number. And let's say you are 100% sure that the user has entered a number. Okay, you can turn the string into an integer with int age here, and here give me your age, and here once you got the age, you will just give int age. You are converting the number, the string, into a number. And when you'll do that, when you're 100% sure that user gives number as input, okay? If you rerun this one, for example, the age is, for example, 18, and if you run this one, it is actually converting the age to 18. You can even just give here itself int of 18. Instead of 2 lines of code, you can write this in just one single line. And if you run this one, for example, print age, if you see here, it will ask you age, for example, 15. See, it's printing the number, okay? The age variable will contain a value that is an integer, and now you can do math with it. And remember that you have to transform strings to integers. And one more thing is, you can also transform integers into string in exactly the opposite way. And for that, you are going to use str method, which is something like this. Instead of int, if you just give str, then it will convert the input into string. it is implicitly taking input as integer, so you don't have to do that. You can just give int here. Okay. And do your math with strings. What I mean by this? I mean, if I want to combine strings, if I want to concatenate, then all I need to do is to add them. For example, if you just give print byte, for example, if you run this one, see, it is concatenating and at the same time it is printing the string. Okay, and for example, you can also give print str of 4. This is actually a string, and you can concatenate it with string now. Okay, for example, just give here waste, and if you print this one, 4 waste. See, it is concatenating. So in this way you can concatenate a string. Concatenating is nothing but combining the strings. Just remember that we use this plus sign for concatenating, and the two things, the left and right things, must be strings, and if they are not in strings, you are going to convert them into strings and then you are going to concatenate with them. Okay, for example, if you just give multiplication here, and this time this is not string. Okay, see, it is printing waste 4 times. So this is all about this thing. Same thing works with multiplication, but it will actually multiply and it will actually print waste for 4 times. Okay, but division and subtraction don't work like that. In terms of multiplication, the ideas of multiplying 2 numbers is not well defined. What does it mean to multiply 2 strings first? However, it makes sense to specify multiplication of a string by a number. Just repeat that strings that number of times. Try this in your own program with all the arithmetic operations with numbers and strings. The best way to get an idea of what works and what doesn't is to try it. Okay, try it yourself and try doing it, and try the ways that you can manipulate string. If you get any errors, and yeah, those errors are the lessons that you'll learn at the end of the day, and next time you'll remember them, and that experience will help you out in optimizing yourself in programming. I want you guys to work on this exercise and try it yourself. If you get it, then that's totally fine. Comment that code in the comment section. I'll always be there for you to check and give you the feedback of that code that you gave in the comments. And one more thing is, if you really want solution for this particular exercise, the code of this thing will be in the blog, and I will share the link of that blog in the description. You can just go there and yeah, go through the code and try to even optimize that particular code which I am giving in the blog. I hope you guys really enjoyed this exercise by solving it on your own. I gave you everything that you need. I gave you how to get input. I gave you how to manipulate the string. All you need to do is just sit and work on the logic and try it yourself. Okay, good luck. See you in the next video.